All right. Well, welcome back to the next episode of Meet the Band. And today I'm here with Abby and Kaiden again from Garlick. So welcome. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves a little bit?
Well, I'm Abby. I am the vocalist for Garlick. We've been a band for about a year or so now. And I did School of Rock for about 8 years prior. So, yeah.
Nice.
I'm Kaiden. I'm the guitarist in Garlick. And, yeah.
Yeah. And we were just talking about this a little bit, but, you know, Kaiden will be playing in 3 bands at our festival. You can check out his other video with Medusa, his other band, and then Garlick, and then he's still in the School of Rock house band. So there's plenty of chances to get to Kaiden. So we'll talk a little bit about Abby. Abby, I kind of like to get everybody's backstory as far as like, you know, when did you first kind of find your passion for music? Like, what, you know, you remember how old you were, and you said you were at School of Rock for 8 years. So you started doing lessons pretty young then, I assume.
So choir started being a thing in my elementary school when you hit 3rd grade. We had just gotten a new music teacher. And so we got the opportunity. I did choir, and we did a lot of like rock kind of songs like Journey and Toto and Foreigner, some of my favorite bands now, but we did those like in choir in elementary school. And I got a solo. I just randomly wanted to try it out, and I got it in 3rd grade. And then like every year since, I kept getting solos. And I guess the song Dreams by Van Halen, actually, I got a solo to that in like 5th grade. And that just kind of made me realize that like, I want to sing rock music. And at the time, my mom was best friends with like the manager at School of Rock way back when. And so we went and did a little trial, and I saw one of their like Rock the Yard shows, and I fell in love. And so ever since I was like 10, I want to say, maybe 11, I was at School of Rock.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. So, Kaiden, we've got a little bit of your backstory in the Medusa interview, but maybe give us a little bit of intro on like how you and Abby decided to, I don't know if you two started Garlick or if you came into Garlick later, or how did that happen? How did we get here?
I knew that we'd like talked about it a couple times, like starting our own band and stuff. I think when like Abby aged out is when like we really started talking about it and wanting to do it. And then Abby knew a few people that would be able to fill in for bass and drums, and that's kind of how it started. And we started practicing at like the empty rooms at School of Rock, and then now we're practicing at the drummer's grandma's house, Sammy.
Nice. Yeah, you guys played last year at our fundraiser show that we're having this weekend. Was that your guys' first performance as Garlick?
Yes, yeah. And that was the one show we did before we had Danny.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
So Danny came in a little later, but yeah, he was still in house band at that time, I think. And shortly after he aged out, I think was when we got him in, probably like summer. Danny's last
also
year.
In like 3 or 4 bands, isn't he?
He's in Redville.
Everybody needs a key player, yeah. Awesome. So we talked a little bit before the interview here that, you know, you guys are doing a lot of cover songs. So for the listener at home online that's thinking about coming out to the festival, you know, kind of what kind of genres or famous bands might they recognize at one of your guys' sets at the festival?
So I like to kind of classify it as like classic rock between the late 60s and early 2000s. So it's a big general rainbow of music, but like we've got Led Zeppelin, we've got Pink Floyd, but then we also have like Rage Against the Machine, we got a little Audio Slave.
Nice.
So yeah, they're all pretty well-known songs, at least for now, just so, you know, we can get the following we need before we can start doing less known stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you talked about your 3rd grade choir doing some of those more classic rock songs and whatnot. Like, was that not the kind of music you listened to until you started doing School Rock? Like, did School Rock kind of expand your horizons a little bit?
So I'd always, because my parents listened to that stuff, I think just being in choir made me realize that like I loved singing and that I had the ability to. Yeah, I kind of always listened to rock music, but definitely School of Rock widened that range. Like my very first season I was there was the Beatles. And I entered like halfway through the season, so I only got one song lead, but it was Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. And so that kind of opened that door of like listening to the Beatles. And then we did like a rock and roll show. So then there was like Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. And yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk just a little bit about Summerfest, right? Because we have our Summerfest fundraiser coming up this weekend, and both of you guys have been to Summerfest. You've been twice, I believe. Is that correct?
I performed twice, but I've been three times.
Yeah, you came last year, right,
Yeah.
to support. That's true. And then Kaiden, was last year the only time you've come?
I went last year and then the year before that as well.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you know, we had some of the newer house band members on one of the episodes recently, kind of to get their perception before they've gone and they don't even understand what's on the other side of it. So from your guys' perspective, you know, just 100 words or less, like how cool was your first Summerfest experience?
Well, I would say Summerfest is what made me perform, because I feel like before I was really shy. I was the youngest kid out of all the people I was at School of Rock with. I was like 2-3 years younger than anyone else that was at Summerfest with like Omaha. And I mean, first of all, it helped me get a lot closer to all my bandmates. I had a lot of fun like in the dorms. But yeah, I would say Summerfest is what really made me like actually start performing and not worrying about how other people perceive it. Just kind of feeling the music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kaiden, what was your first Summerfest experience like?
Summerfest, I feel like really like connected me more with like the members in house band, because like and even like stage presence and stuff like that, being more comfortable on the stage. But like before, I was just like I would kind of just like stick to myself during practices and stuff, and then after like Summerfest, I was like actually like some more talking to the members of the band, because like we're all just like hanging out in the dorms for a lot of the time and playing games and stuff. So that just made me more comfortable with everyone. And then also like like thinking about like how like big the stages are gonna be and stuff made me like realize that like the stage presence I had then was like very static and like not that fun to look at. So I decided to just like amp up my game with like the stage presence and just like move around a lot more and have a lot more fun with it.
Nice.
And his first Summerfest was actually when Kaiden and I got really close and like
Oh, nice.
was more than just a bandmate relationship. And so, yeah, I remember him, we'd all hang out and like there was one night where it was just me and you that went back to watch Cypress Hill when everyone else stayed at the
Wanted to go back to the
dorms. And yeah, but Kaiden and I just did our own thing that night. And I'd say that's probably when we became like close friends.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool, right, to be just around all those other bands, right? Like I got a video and I think it's so cool from last year, just watching the band perform while like the slide above them is like just showing who all is going to be performing later that night. Like last year you had Motley Crue there and we watched In Vogue, which isn't a rock band, but they were a super famous band, you know, when I was a kid. So yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. So Kaiden, we asked you a little bit in the other interview about, you know, your life ambitions, and you know, said music is kind of it, right?
Yeah.
That's what your goals are, and that's what you want to do. Abby, is music the Garlic thing? Is this something you want to try to pursue, you know, for the long haul?
Oh, for sure. I always tell people like I'm a waitress and I'm a drug and alcohol counselor, but if I could, I would definitely just do music for the rest of my life. And I'm actually in something called Women of Rock as well.
Oh yeah,
And
I've
so
seen that
that's
show. Yeah,
another way that, you know, kind of get my name out there. And yeah, I'd say definitely music is like top goal is to definitely be doing this for as long as I can.
right. So maybe a couple last questions here. Like, what would you say music in general, whether it's performing or whether it's lessons at School Rock, like how has that helped shape you and to become the person you are? And like, why do you think you just enjoy it so much?
So I would say the biggest thing is my like personality change. I mean, with age, it comes to where you become a lot less shy. But I think that through performing, it like changed me as a whole to make me not care what anyone else thinks. Whereas like I used to be so self-conscious of like, well, what outfit am I gonna put on today? Or I need to wear makeup or whatever. But now it's kind of just like, I've realized I'm my own worst critic.
Sure.
And I think music has definitely changed my life for the biggest part in that sense of just like confidence, but also not caring what other people think.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Kaiden, how about you?
Can you repeat the question?
So just how has music changed your life, to sum it up?
I feel like it gave me just like something to do. Like I've been doing music for like basically as long as I can remember. And so this is like, I was like 6 years old. So I think it's just like giving me like a way better, like having like something to be passionate about is like really important. I feel like, because it can give you like drive to like go do what you want to do, like, and have like some sort of escape from like whatever's going on. And I just really love music, and I think that having something like that is really good.
For sure. So what advice would you give to, I kind of throw the demographic out there, like an 8 to 12-year-old that might come out to our festival next month, see you guys rocking up on the stage and say like, whoa, I want to do that, but like, I don't know where to start, or I don't know if I'll be any good. Like, what advice would you give to that young person?
School of Rock, they do trials. So
That's
you can,
true. They
I
do
mean,
free
they
trials,
can
right?
even just go out and see, a house band or one of the season shows for School of Rock. But I think definitely School of Rock, for me personally, is the best way to really get into it, especially if you're thinking about performing. But obviously, like I said earlier too, just like doing choir in school or band or orchestra or whatever. I think those are all good ways to really get into it.
Nice. Kaiden?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And like I said at the last one, it's like just try it out. Just
Right.
Just if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But like at least try it,
Most people like it, I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then my last question for everybody is always, what can we as the greater Omaha community do to help support more bands like Garlick and teenagers trying to get their foot in the door and get their name out there?
Yeah, so I would say two main things. One, social media. I mean, we all have these pages to market, to spread our name, to share details about events. And I think, say you are someone who already is a supporter, maybe like repost whatever, see if any of your friends want to come, or just invite other people. And I think, just helping out with that. And then also, if you see or hear about a show, go to it. Just check it out. If you don't like it, okay, leave. But
Right.
I would definitely say just any show that you're able to make it to or that you hear about, definitely try and show up. Or if there's a live on Facebook or something, watch that or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kaiden?
Yeah, just like go to the show, check it out, spread the word. Like if there's like a opportunity for you to like take a poster or something and put it up somewhere, then do it. And like just like supporting the band and like announcing as well, or like reposting like posters or like posts about like a upcoming show. It's all really helpful.
For sure. It's free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, share, do all of the above on this interview, on Garlick's page, on the Future Rockers of Omaha page, and most importantly, come out to the Future of Rock Festival on May 17th and see Garlick perform. Thank you guys so much for coming out here today, and we'll see you next month.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yep.